What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. Now, this is going to be an extremely gloomy episode of Joe Winko Talk. It's actually going to be my most gloomiest episode of Joe Winko Talk. But I just want to say, make sure this is clear to all of you first, that I'm not suicidal anymore, and I really do not ever want to try this again, and I don't ever want to do this again. But most importantly, my life, since between the time I'm talking about now and now, well, between when this happened and now, my life has gotten much better, and I do not feel I need to ever try this again. So just making that clear to all of you guys so you don't have to worry about anything. I've been wanting to talk about this for quite a while, but I wasn't really sure about doing it because the story is very personal. But I saw on YouTube that other YouTubers were talking about it and everything, about the time they tried to commit suicide. And I thought, well, if they could do it, I could do it too. So this video is going to be about the time I tried committing suicide back in year 2014. It wasn't my first time I tried doing it, and please don't, whatever you do, please do not leave comments like, oh, I'm glad you're still alive, or thank God you didn't die at all, or anything like that. Just please don't leave comments like those. Just please don't. And there's actually a lot more that came before this and everything, because as I said earlier, it wasn't my first time I tried committing suicide. But I'm not going to explain all that right now, because I don't want to make this video too long. So, here's where I'm going to start. Back in October of 2013, I got a job working retail, and I was excited about it at first, because it was my first job I ever had and everything. But after a few days, I really didn't like it at all, and I was talking about quitting because I really was not happy there. But my adoptive mom kept telling me, no, you have to stay. Every time I mentioned quitting, she'd get really mad and tell me that I had to stay and that I had to keep working there. And I just felt really trapped at that time, because she kept telling me, you have to stay, you can't quit at all. And it was really stressful, and it was not good. And I hated the job. I hated having to come in there. The customers were really rude. My boss was like really demanding, and it was not going good at all. And people say that that's normal, that's part of life, suck it up and everything. But getting back to what I said earlier, there was a time where my depression was really bad and I did try killing myself, but it was long before this happened though. I was 18 years old back when all this was happening. I was 17 in October of 2013 when I started the job, but I was 18 when I attempted suicide this time. But way before then, my depression was really bad and I tried killing myself earlier. But then, at this time, when I was 18 and working this retail job, I started thinking, so this is what I stayed alive for, this is what people wanted me to live for, and this is why people were telling me death isn't the answer and that you should live on. And I started feeling like it's not worth it, and I didn't think it was worth it. But at that time, I didn't really have the guts to kill myself at all, so what I did instead was I resorted to self-mutilation. I started cutting my wrist a lot, and I remember a couple of years ago, some of you guys watching this video may remember this, I had a video uploaded on my channel, only for like an hour or two, of my pet guinea pigs, and I was petting one of them, and I started noticing people started commenting on it and saying, Joe, why are your wrists cut up? Don't cut your wrists, don't cut your arms. And then right away I took it down and deleted it. I don't have that video anymore. but I'm pretty sure some of you guys remember it, and now you guys finally know the reason why is because I hated my job so much and I wanted to leave, but my parents wouldn't let me quit, so I kept cutting on my wrist because of that, because I felt really trapped and everything. And my adoptive mom knew I was doing that, but she still wouldn't let me quit the job at all. I eventually did quit the job, though, but I'm going to get to that later. And eventually, summer of 2014 rolled in, and I started thinking more about killing myself and everything and being dead. I wouldn't really think about it all the time, but I'd think about it pretty often. It was a pretty gloomy time back then. Because, like, despite what you guys saw in my videos from 2014 and my Joe Winko talks, a lot of that was really just a facade. I mean, I seemed happy and bright in my Joe Winko talks, but that wasn't always the case back then. So, as you all know, I play Grand Theft Auto Vice City a lot. I really love this game. Cause another reason why I love this game, it's really fun to play, but another reason why I love it is I love the 80s music, and I also love it because the whole scenery and everything reminds me of, when I used to live in the Dominican Republic with my uncle, who, as you all know, passed away in 2012, and I miss him very much, my Uncle Romario, and I missed him very much back then, too, in 2014 when all this was going on. My favorite song from Grand Theft Auto Vice City that I would hear on the radios all the time whenever I was driving through Vice City was Self-Control by Laura Branigan. I believe that's how I pronounce her name. So, what happened was, I read about Laura Branigan online, and I learned that she had a husband who died in 1996, and Laura Branigan also died in her sleep on August 26th of 2004, and she died of undiagnosed cerebral aneurysm. And I don't exactly know how to word this, but for some strange reason, that kind of fascinated me for some reason. Fascinated. I feel bad saying the word fascinated. That's probably not the word I'm looking for, but that's the best word I could come up with. That she died in her sleep on August 26th of 2004. Now, for some of you who have... as you all know, I have a mild form of autism, and when someone has autism, like a mild form of autism, they get, I don't know how to word this, they get fixated on dates, or they get interested on dates, or, well, dates is something that you pay attention to. Like, the date something happened is like something you pay attention to. She died on August 26, 2004. She died in her sleep on August 26 of 2004. So then I thought I should die in my sleep on August 26, 2014. So that's what I came up with in my autism mind. So I got that ideal of how I was going to die, and I wanted to die in my sleep. And my adoptive mom, she was on high blood pressure medication because she had high blood pressure, and that bitch deserves it too. She was on high blood pressure medication, and she always takes pills for her high blood pressure because her blood pressure is high. Like, she takes pills to lower it. And what happened was, it was on the night of August 25th, 2014. Like, it was a little past it was almost to midnight, like 11:50 something. And I went into my bedroom and I took the took the pills from downstairs, my adoptive mom's high blood pressure medication. And I also had 2 bottles of NyQuil, and I was going to do it that night. And I was a little scared because I didn't know exactly how this was going to turn out. I didn't know if it would be extremely painful or if it would be... I just remember being really worried about that, because that's the reason why I didn't have the guts to kill myself at all, because the pain and everything. And then I kept thinking, Joe, don't be afraid. You're gonna be with your uncle again. He's gonna come back. And, well, he won't come back, but he'll come for you. Then both of us were gonna go off, and we were gonna go to heaven. That's what I was thinking, and it would all be over, and you would escape from everything. You would escape from everything. And I put on my bandana, just wrapped it around my head, just like it is now, laid down on my bed, and I dumped out all the pills. I think there was like 30 of them or 40 of them, and I took all of them, and I swallowed all of them with water, and then I just downed both bottles of NyQuil, and I laid in my bed. I was laying face up, and I just remember I was just laying there face up, and I had my earphones on, and I was playing the song Self-Control by Laura Branigan. Let me play it for you right now. I'm just going to play a little bit of it. This song. Every time I hear this song, I think of that night and how I was thinking of... Whenever I heard this song, I thought of me dying and my uncle coming to take me to heaven. That's what I was thinking. So I was playing that on my iPod, and I was listening to that, and then I started feeling it. Like, right away I started feeling it. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but I felt like really drained, really tired, and started feeling really weak. Even though I was laying face up, I just started feeling really weak, like something was like dragging me down, and I was in the bed. And I was feeling so weak and everything, and like really drained. It was almost like you're falling asleep or you're passing out, but it felt different though. Something was definitely different, and I was thinking, okay, I'm dying right now. And then I remember getting really scared, because I was thinking, what's gonna happen? Is my heart going to explode? Am I gonna feel like a ton of pain? Am I gonna tense up and feel like a lot of stuff rupturing or something? And I was worried and I was scared, but while that was all happening, I was trying to calm myself down. Then I just told myself, and I just said, Joe, just listen to the music. It's all going to be over soon. You are dying right now, but everything's going to be fine. You will open your eyes again. Your uncle will come. He will take you away from this world you don't want to be in anymore. And you'll be with him again. And you'll be away. You'll escape. You'll go away into the night. And your soul will go away with his soul into the night. And you guys will go into heaven. Away from everything. And it'll all be over. All the pain. All the suffering, and everything. Then I don't really remember what happened after that, but the next morning I woke up. I thought I was dead, I thought that, like, when I opened my eyes the next morning, I thought I was dead. And I was like, okay, where is my uncle? Why isn't he here? I got out of bed, and what I thought I was going to see when I turned around, I thought I was going to see myself laying in bed dead, but I didn't. And I was like, am I still alive right now? What the hell? And eventually I came to my senses and realized that I was alive. And I was like, well, did I actually do this, or did... And I looked to my right, and on the nightstand, the pill bottle is still there. It's empty. The NyQuil bottles are still there, and they're both empty. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? I drank both of these. I took all of my adoptive mom's prescription pills. How am I still here, and how did I not die from that? I woke up perfectly fine. And, I was kind of shocked when that happened, but I didn't want to try it again. And that was the same morning, that was the same day I did my ice bucket challenge video. I just woke up perfectly fine. And, well, I wasn't like perfectly fine because I was still a little sick. I was still a little sick and still didn't really feel that well, but I woke up perfectly fine the next day, and I don't understand how that happened. And now, the most important thing I want to say is, when someone commits suicide or tries to kill themselves, it's never just because of one reason. I just want to make sure you guys clearly understand that it is never just because of one reason. Like, it wasn't just because, like, it wasn't only because I hated the job. I mean, think about it. My uncle, who was my best friend, died and was not coming back. My other best friend was murdered. I did have a friend who committed suicide too. And in 2013, I had a friend who died of drugs. And the whole thing that happened with my biological father and everything, it was really messed up. All of it was. And it just so happened that that job was the one thing that threw me over the edge. So just remember that when someone tries killing themselves, it's never just because of one reason. It never is, and it makes me angry when people forget about that. I did end up quitting the job, but not until much later, and my life has gotten better now, especially since I quit the job. But you know, for a long time I still wondered how I was fine and how I woke up fine the next day. And I think it was mostly... This is why I think it was. Someone told me this a long time ago. That if someone wants to be dead, and if someone wants to commit suicide, but if God himself doesn't approve of it, it's not going to work. Like, because people do try killing themselves, and sometimes they're just not able to. Like, sometimes they'll fail and it'll just not work. That's what I think happened in this case. But before you guys say, oh, I'm so glad you didn't die, I would have been really sad if this would have happened to you, I would have been really sad if this actually worked. I just want to say that you guys would have never knew if that happened. No one watching this video, if that really did happen, and if I really would have died in my sleep on August 26th of 2014, no one watching this video would ever know. No one subscribed to me on YouTube would ever know that that happened. Because what would just happen is, just that day after August of 2014, I would just simply stop posting on YouTube. People would be wondering, okay, why aren't you uploading any videos on YouTube anymore? But no one would ever know that that's what happened, because how do you guys think you would find out? My adoptive parents wouldn't go on my YouTube channel and tell you guys that I died or anything. They wouldn't do that. Trust me, they definitely would not do that. And I just would have disappeared from the internet. No one would ever know what happened. So that's why. So just please don't even type "I'm glad this didn't happen," because that's just gonna get really annoying. Please don't. And I started listening to the lyrics of the song "Self-Control" by Laura, and I kind of do think it described my situation and what I was feeling and what I was thinking. Let me just play it one more time. And I'm going to explain how the lyrics kind of made me think of this whole suicide thing. Okay, so what she said in that line was, "I live among the creatures of the night." Now, this is just what I believe in. I do believe in ghosts, and I do believe in the paranormal. I thought that if I really would have died on August 23rd, August 26th of 2014, I really thought that if I really would have died that night, I thought that I might become a ghost or something. I wasn't really sure. I just thought I'd be with my uncle again. Like, whether we're in heaven or whether we're floating around as ghosts, and I was excited for that. Well, not like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself and be with my uncle again. Not really that excited. I was a little down about it, because no one really enjoys killing themselves. But if I would have died that night, I would have been living among the creatures of the night, because I would have been dead. And like all the other paranormal entities in the world, I would have been living among them. So that part of the song makes me think of that. Alright, and then there's this. I haven't got the will to try and fight against the new tomorrow, so I guess I'll just believe it, that tomorrow never comes. Okay, so there she said, I haven't got the will to try and fight. Because at that time, I didn't have the will to try and fight. I wasn't gonna, like, people would have just said, oh, just man up and work that job. You just have to work it and get over it. No! It was not worth it. I was thinking, no, I don't like this. I'm not happy, so I'm going to leave. That's what I thought. I don't have to stay here, and I'm going to leave. That's what I thought. And, I really should have had that attitude. I really wish I would have had that attitude with my adoptive mother back then, but back then I just didn't. So, and then they said, I haven't got the will to try and fight against a new tomorrow, so I guess I'll just believe it that tomorrow never comes. Now, if I would have died that night, tomorrow definitely would have never come for me at all. That's really gloomy to think about, but that's definitely true, so that verse of the song definitely fits it. Alright, so then the next line. Okay, a safe night. I'm living in the forest of my dream. That line of the song. Okay, so that makes me think of going to heaven with my uncle. A safe night, I'm living in the forest of my dream. Because when I lived with my uncle in the Dominican Republic, we lived out in the middle of nowhere, and there is forest full of palm trees. And as you all know, I love palm trees. I think palm trees are beautiful. And we'd always go out in the forest, and we'd always be walking around the forest and everything, and I loved being out there with them. It was always a lot of fun. And that's what I thought heaven would be like, a place with lots of palm trees, and that's where I'd be. So she was saying, I'm living in the forest of the dream. I thought after I died from suicide, I'd go to heaven, and then I would be living in the forest of the dreams of all the palm trees and everything. And then she sings, I know the night is not as it would seem. I thought that if I died and also became a ghost too, I think ghosts have more... I think they see more stuff than humans do. I don't think humans see ghosts at all, but I think ghosts see more stuff than humans do. They see other ghosts. Like, if I would have died, I would have saw the other people who came before me and everything in the night. So I know the night is not as it would seem.
I must believe in something, so I'll make myself believe it. This night will never go.
And then she sings, I must believe in something, so I'll make myself believe it that this night will never go. Well, I'm not really sure how to word this, but I think that verse of the song fits the situation too. 'Cause I'll make myself believe that this night will never go. 'Cause I was going to die. I thought I was going to die that night, so that was going to be my last night on Earth. So make myself believe that this night will never go. That night really would have never left, because that would have been my last night on Earth. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you guys, but I hope it does. So yeah. So that would have been the song I would have died to, and it's pretty gloomy, really. But yeah, that's my suicide story, the one from 2014, that is. It was a tough time for me, but I'm doing a lot better now. I quit that job in December 2015, because, you know, if you're working at a place that you're really that unhappy at, that you're cutting yourself at, that you're overdosing on pills at, and that you're trying to die in your sleep, you shouldn't be there. You really shouldn't. And, you know, I didn't just try killing myself just because I hated the job. It was a lot of other stuff, too. Because no one ever tries killing themselves just for one reason. And you know what? To be honest with you guys, the person I really almost killed was my adoptive mother, because she needs to take those pills every day. And when she found out that they were all gone, I didn't tell her that I took them, but I just put the empty pill bottle back in there, and then she said she freaked out because she knew they were all gone, and she had to go to the pharmacy and pay like a couple $100 to get more. And she, you know, I don't even feel bad for doing that either, for making her do that either. She deserved it, because she kind of caused a lot of that was going on, so yeah. But just remember that no one ever kills themselves just for one reason. And yeah, so that's it. It was a really gloomy story, but that was my whole suicide story. And it's not the entire story, because I did try committing suicide long before that, but I'm gonna save that for another video. So that's basically it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. And my Sims 2 horror movie, Carolina Maniacs, is still on its way. I'm gonna be posting the trailer for it as soon as I finish it. I still have a lot left to go, but just be patient. Don't ask me, oh, when's the next video coming out? Because I seriously hate it. I already told you guys I don't like it when people ask me that. So just respect what I said. Please do. And that's basically it. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on Tumblr. So that's it. So peace out, people.